my name is Ngayuan, and EFM is the resource center for all conversations on entrepreneurship in action. This is Market Access, where we talk about the journeys that companies with new technologies take to find and build traction in markets outside of their own. So for the next few episodes, we will be featuring some companies from the UK under the Tech Export Academy that will be on a virtual trade mission to the South Pacific. In this particular episode, we will be talking to Bruno Johnson, the CEO of Cascoda, a designer and manufacturer of ultra-low power semiconductor radios and modules for IoT communications. And Cascoda is known to be the world's earliest company to have achieved an important milestone for the Open Connectivity Foundation, OCF. So perhaps, Bruno, you can tell us a little bit more about this important milestone first.
Okay, thank you very much, Nayan, and it's a pleasure to be introducing Cascoda and our technology to all your listeners in Malaysia. So, yes, a little bit about really the fundamentals of our technology. First of all, it's built on a wireless network protocol called Thread. Now, Thread is quite different to other low power wireless protocols such as Bluetooth in that it has been designed from the ground up for mesh networking and also to use internet protocol connectivity rather than a proprietary type of connectivity. So this means that a Thread radio can be controlled through regular internet protocol connectivity such as Wi-Fi, Ethernet, power line directly from the internet. So for the first time, you can control an Internet of Things, a very low power Internet of Things device directly from the internet. And that's extremely powerful. And Thread also allows for very low power operation. So it can operate from coin cells and devices can seamlessly go to sleep, wake up and reconnect. And it also uses the most advanced type of security technology so that we can be very sure that the Thread device is unlikely to be hacked. And then on top of that, we've developed the Open Connectivity Foundation stack to work on top of Thread. And we're the first company in the world to have done that. And what the Open Connectivity Foundation stack does is that it provides the device discovery. Then once you've discovered the device, the resource discovery. So what kind of device is it? Is it a light switch? Is it a light bulb? If it's a light bulb, does it have dimming? Does it have RGB color? So the resource discovery, the secure onboarding using even PKI security, and PKI is public key infrastructure security. It's the same security used by your banking app. So when you do banking on your phone, we've got the same level of security to connect to an IoT device. So all of a sudden, you can connect to a door lock securely over IoT and control that from your phone anywhere in the world. So this is incredibly powerful IoT technology.
I'm amazed because I can already imagine how it's going to be used for the community. So the next important question clearly is it expensive?
No, our modules are extremely inexpensive. They are more expensive than, let's say, non-secure technology because our module contains all the cryptography computing engines that are required to perform this kind of advanced security. This does have an additional cost, but it's not a tremendous additional cost from existing wireless technology.
And it's definitely worth it for the security that you are offering, clearly.
Yes, well, that's the point. So with the Cybersecurity Act in the United States, which came into law at the end of last year, it's now illegal to sell into US government public infrastructure without conforming to the baseline security measures that have been ratified by the US government. So all of a sudden, security is not just a nice to have, it is a mandatory requirement. Now, we believe that the European Union has also put similar laws into place, and other countries around the world are going to start to do this. So by using our technology, you're future-proofing yourself against future laws regarding Internet of Things security. But you're also making sure that not going to have a problem, or very unlikely to have a problem, with hacking or other kinds of security issues further down the line.
So have you rolled this out anywhere in the world?
So there are pilots for this happening in the UK right now. And also with a consortium of British companies, we've been shortlisted to deploy this for a pollution monitoring system in India.
That's interesting. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, well, it's a project between Department of Industry and Trade and the Indian government, and this is for Delhi, initially for Delhi. And the point is that existing pollution monitoring systems set up all around the world by governments are only in a very few specific places, and there's actually a much bigger need for granularity. So by putting pollution monitoring on top of streetlights, we can get incredible granularity of the pollution in any particular district or area. And then we can also measure the pollution against healthcare outcomes. So by integrating with the healthcare system, we can correlate respiratory disease, let's say, against pollution for any particular area. So we hope that with this kind of technology, we're able to have much better healthcare outcomes and much better policy outcomes by providing this granularity of information. And our technology has already been installed in a university in Taipei, street lighting in the University of Taipei. So we believe it is a really perfect technology for this application.
And is it also to measure pollutants in the air in the University of Taipei, or is it
no? It's just for control. It's just
right. So it's the dimming of the lights, and when does it work?
Exactly, turning on and off and dimming of lights in Taipei. Yeah.
Cool. So can I just dig back a little bit, go back a little bit to how did you come to start Cascoda, and how did your technology be at this level? What was it? What was the journey like?
Okay, so I started my career at Hitachi's European headquarters, and my business partner, who's from Germany, he's actually never worked in Germany postgraduate. So his first job was in France in a company called Atmel. But we're both chip designers. We design microchips and have worked in the communications field of the design of microchips all our careers. Later, this is our second startup company. So the first one was acquired by Semtech, and we became Semtech's, our previous company, Acapella, became Semtech's Advanced Communications division. Later, our Advanced Communications division merged with a company in Switzerland called Zemix, and together with Zemix, that division of Semtech acquired another company in France, which had a technology which then became LoRa, which is another known wireless communication protocol. So we come from that same team, but more or less around a little bit more than 10 years ago, we knew that everything would go wireless eventually. And today that is called the Internet of Things. But at the time we were calling it machine-to-machine communication, wireless machine-to-machine communication. Right. Yeah, and so we knew everything was going to go wireless. The only uncertainty was how things would go wireless. And my belief has always been that eventually standards will always win. So we have always backed standards, the Thread standard and also the Open Connectivity Foundation standard. And today, open source is more likely to win. So these are both open source standards with a community of people jointly together developing both the standard and the open source implementation of the software stack. And that's hugely powerful. So Cascoda is both contributor to the standard of Thread and OCF. We hold chair positions in both organizations, and we're also a contributor to the open source software stack. So you've really got hundreds of people's eyes on this code, continually developing it and improving it.
So two things, right? One is that your technology and the way you think is clearly ahead of time. How do you deal with the fact that because you're so much ahead of time, so your products and your services, the traction build, the customer base is going to be slow, and also your decision to go into different market. What was that driven by, and what gave you that action driven, like, okay, if it's not working in UK just yet, we should tell the whole world what we're doing and see which market is ready for us. So how did you deal with that?
Okay, so the semiconductor industry is a global industry anyway. So you don't build semiconductors for one country or even one region. So you really build semiconductors for a global market. There's a large sunk cost into building semiconductors. So we've always had a international outlook for our technology, and my personal view is that the real exciting market for our technology is in East and Southeast Asia. We manufacture in Taiwan anyway, so that's a huge advantage. So as a result of that, I have...
Is it cost advantage? What advantage is it mostly?
No, well, the semiconductor industry is really...
Because in
Taiwan, really based in Taiwan. So we manufacture our chips in Taiwan, so it makes sense for us to manufacture our modules in Taiwan. I then went through Taiwan's system of entrepreneurship, and now hold what's called a gold card visa for a technology expert. So that's a kind of resident visa, but it also allows me to have a company in Taiwan. So we've got a Cascoda branch office Taiwan as our first branch office anywhere in the world, actually. So we have a company in Taiwan. We have a sales representative in Taiwan who is fully trained up by us. So she studied in a UK university, and after she finished in the UK university, we hired her for 1 year, trained her up, and then repatriated her to Taiwan. So that's our first step into Asia, and from there we're starting to look at other interesting markets such as Malaysia.
So why Asia? I understand you said earlier that it is, where you want to be going, and you can see the trajectory of it. And why? And what are you looking forward to in Malaysia?
Yeah. Okay. So we see in Malaysia a country which has is first of all it's growing, and the economy is growing, GDP is growing fast. There's a lot of investment going on into new infrastructure, and that's really important. A forward-thinking government policy and investment going on in new infrastructure. That's quite different to Europe and North America, where we have a lot of existing infrastructure that almost needs to be upgraded, but there's very little new build. So in East and Southeast Asia, we see quite a lot of a bigger proportion of new build and also forward-thinking government policy. And that's very important for this kind of technology. So I think there are opportunities in Southeast Asia for countries to actually leapfrog some of the Western countries by taking the latest technology and implementing it faster.
Yeah, you will also have a great opportunity here to also have an influence over the current policies that most of the countries here will have. Yeah, which is what is very exciting about what you're doing. What kind of companies are you interested in meeting over this virtual trade?
Yeah, very good question. So our technology is really a platform that can be integrated into multiple markets. So really the main places where our technology should be considered are in building automation systems and smart city systems. So we're really looking to collaborate with the manufacturers of systems that require some kind of control. So we would call it electronic systems companies, the sort of companies that already build stuff that goes into our cities and into our buildings. And we have this platform that they can easily integrate into their products, and then they can have the control of their systems over the internet securely using our platform.
I'm really excited. I look forward to your presentation when the virtual trade mission happens, I think in March, early March. Also, if other people happen to chance by this podcast and this video cast much later, post the virtual trade mission, how do they get in touch with you?
Okay, so you can go to our website, cascoda.com, that's cascoda.com, and get in touch with us. We have both the UK and the Taiwan branch office numbers on there. Give us a call.
Yes, we look forward to that. Thank you very much. So that's all we have for this week. And we look forward to seeing you and the rest of the other UK companies that's on board this virtual trade mission. And we can't wait to welcome some of this wonderful work into the country and the region. Thank you, Bruno.
Thank you, Anne.